Right now at 5, reports of an explosion draws first responders to a house in Chanute.
And we've got ourselves another bitterly cold start to the day. Cold weather advisories across the area. Have a look at that forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, a biogas proposal in Ottawa County shows the potential for chicken waste.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's now Tuesday. It is January the 21st. And with today's weather compared to yesterday's, I really feel like it's like those commercials where they're like, here, try this product now with more sugar or, whatever.
Oh, sure.
Today, you can try bitterly cold temperatures now with more sunshine.
Oh, good. There's something.
There's
something.
We've added sunshine to the bitterly cold temperatures. It's still cold, but there will be more sunshine today. It's how it feels. You know those ads I'm talking about, right?
Sure.
That's really how it feels. It's still bitterly cold, but now with more sunshine. No sunshine yet, though. If we did, we would be in Alaska, and we are not. No. And I believe it might be warmer in Alaska in some cases. No. I'll have to look that up. Let's look outside, though. It is still pre-sunrise, so it's still dark outside, but we're looking otherwise all right. Just a couple of clouds here and there. Of course, our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We'll head over to the MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Again, it's looking back roughly to the northwest and also looking pretty good this morning. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69, also looking pretty good this morning so far. Cold weather advisories, they are now for everybody. Really, this is turning into one of those kinds of ads. Bitterly cold temperatures now with more sunshine, and if you act now, we'll throw in a cold weather advisory for every last one of your friends. The only thing is all of them, except Oklahoma and Arkansas, run through noon today. The Oklahoma and Arkansas ones will expire at 10 a.m. So a lot of that is for what we were experiencing overnight through now. That's why they don't run much longer, but still, it is going to be cold. By noon, it's sunny, southwest winds out there, thankfully not gusting, but still it's enough of a breeze that with these temperatures it'll feel a lot colder. Our wind chills will still be through the single digits and low teens most of today. By 4 o'clock, we got low 20s. Now again, the southwest winds are going to do one thing for us. Temperatures will fall much more slowly tonight. So we'll go over that a little later with you. In Joplin right now, the airport, like yesterday, not reporting a temperature. 3 in Pittsburgh, but polling from a backup site, which this map can do. 5 in Joplin. Look at these temperatures. These are not the wind chills. These are the air temperatures. 1 below in Fort Scott, 2 below zero, Neodesha and Parsons. Frigid temperatures, and you factor in that light breeze, it feels like it is 15 below zero in Fort Scott. 15 below zero. So anybody going out this morning, you got to bundle up. And again, with the kids, keep them in the car if you can. Take them to school if you can, because we're not going to see much improvements. We're looking on average about 2 when the kids get on the bus this morning. Sunny skies out there, at least clear skies. Sunny when they come home, 20. Southwest breeze 5 to 10. And again, our highs today, upper teens, low 20s. Well, that's southwest wind and sunny skies. Now again, our temperatures, thanks to the southwest winds, will not get as cold as fast. And that is actually good news for tomorrow. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. An explosion draws first responders to a house in Chanute. The report came in early yesterday afternoon to the Chanute Fire Department. Emergency crews dispatched to the 600 block of West 16th for a report of a structure fire with a possible explosion. The state fire marshal was called to investigate. We'll have more information as it develops on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The company hopes to create a facility using chicken waste to produce methane-based gas in Ottawa County. The possibility is drawing concerns from residents and environmental groups. The co-founder of the company hoping to build the facility flew in and met with KOAM's Samantha Walker. He explains what the facility would be like and addresses some of the concerns.
Argo Development Partners is a small U.S. company hoping to build a facility in Ottawa County that would create products using chicken litter. They plan to bring in over 160,000 tons of litter from local farmers a year.
Basically mix it with water, do a biological process where we convert carbon and nitrogen into 3 products, and all 3 of those products are really agricultural products that are renewable natural gas, liquid fertilizer, and solid fertilizer.
Walker says the company looked at sites in Arkansas and Missouri, but ultimately chose Ottawa County in Oklahoma because of its access to the natural gas pipeline and the proximity to farmers with chicken litter.
There's a very significant pipeline that runs right across the side of site, so our material won't have to leave site. So we'll generate it on site and it will immediately go into the pipeline.
The community isn't necessarily welcoming the facility.
I just think that won't be good for us. And who will want to breathe this?
The smell is just one concern. Lead Agency Inc., an environmental group out of Miami, says the site could prove harmful to the community.
You see the entire area downwind of this facility is in either the 90th to 95th percentile for the orange or in the 95th to 100th percentile in the red for asthma.
Walker says the facility is being designed with air quality and odor in mind.
You can drive up and you don't smell it until you open the door. I mean, once you open the door, it smells like it smells like a poultry operation. But until you open the door to the facility, it really does not smell.
Not only is LEED concerned about air pollution, but the potential for groundwater contamination. Walker says they're keeping safety and storage in mind, such as using secondary containment for anything stored in the tank.
A lot of litter will be on like concrete pads, right? So we'll have it in an engineered solution where we're not going to have a lot of runoff.
Brent Rendell owns the land where the facility will go and is leasing it to Argo. He says he originally shared some of the same concerns.
Will it smell? What are you going to do to keep the waste products where they're supposed to be and not where they're not supposed to be? And what sort of an impact will this have on the environment?
Rendell adds the facility could prove good for farmers and for the environment.
If you look at what this system replaces, it's actually reducing the emissions.
Residents say they just want to protect their homes.
You want a clean place, you want a safe place to live, and that's what we've had for many, many years. And we don't want to see that change.
The facility's open air permit is in the public comment phase with the DEQ. Lead Agency Inc. is encouraging residents to come forward with whatever questions or concerns they have.
Not a complaint to your neighbor, but a comment to the only agency right now that can stop it, and that's the DEQ.
Reporting in Ottawa County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Ottawa County residents are encouraged to submit public comments to the state DEQ by January 22nd. You can find a link to that and more information on the proposed facility at KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Webb City's head softball coach announces she's stepping down. We'll have the details. Plus, Google says it will not follow the European Union's new fact-checking law. And we have a cold and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, it's getting closer and closer towards the high school basketball postseason here in the 4 states. And this week, a ton of our local teams playing in tournaments around the area. The first of which tipped off last night at Southeast High School. It's a CNC matchup in the opening game of the 2025 Lancer Classic as Riverton takes on Columbus. Rams get off to a fast start just a couple minutes into the first quarter. Cale Forbes gets the steal, goes coast to coast, then lays it off the glass for Derek Richardson, who finishes with authority. Riverton running the floor again. Aiden Witherspoon takes one dribble and finishes with his left hand. Titans fall behind by 16, trying to get back into it. Carter Woodcock gets the steal and goes straight to the rim. Count the basket plus the foul, but the Rams get right back to work. So Richardson stretches his range from the corner. That's good for 3. And a minute later, is going to find Tyler Ritz ahead of the pack, attacking the basket, hoop, and the harm. Rams get out to that early lead and never look back. They beat Columbus 74-55 in the opening round of the Lancer Classic and will play in the tournament semifinals Thursday night. After that game, the New Heights boys basketball team takes down Neodesha 86-69. The Cougars are the only Missouri team in the tournament. They improved to 10-4 on the season and advanced to the semifinals of the winners bracket against Riverton. That game is Thursday night at 7. The entire quarterfinal round for the boys took place last night. After that one, in a Kansas-Oklahoma crossover game, Parsons dominates Commerce 72-31. That sends the Vikings to the semifinals of the winners bracket, where they'll face Southeast, who beat Baxter Springs 58-50 last night. We've got some more coaching news for high school softball in Southwest Missouri. Webb City will be looking for a new leader for its softball program. After 10 seasons leading the Lady Cardinals, Webb City softball head coach Shauna Friend announced yesterday she is stepping down. Under her direction, the Cardinals went on a run to the 2020 state championship game and accumulated more than 200 total victories over the course of 10 seasons. There's no word yet on who will take her spot. Last night was the final college football game until August. Notre Dame faces Ohio State in the Division I FBS National Championship game. It's also the first national title game under the new format of a 12-team playoff. And Ohio State is the last team standing in the 2024-25 college football season. The Buckeyes take care of business 34-23 in last night's championship game. They were led by Kansas State transfer Will Howard at quarterback. This is Ohio State's 9th national title in program history and its first since 2014. Still to come, popular GLP-1 medications may have health benefits that extend beyond weight loss. Plus, it's really cold. Is it going to warm up? It just might. We'll go over those details with you when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to, of course, start with the future track. And as we mentioned earlier, we still have the cold temperatures. We're just going to add more sunshine to it. It will look nice. It will look warmer. It will not feel that way, though. That's why we have cold weather advisories for most of us through at least noon today. And so what that boils down to is with cold weather advisories, we're talking wind chills, single digits or below zero. And that could continue through at least the noon hour for many locations out there. Now, we're going to have that southwest wind. And while that isn't really going to do much for us today, it will have an impact as we go through this evening. Now, we showed you this yesterday, and I want to show you again today in case maybe you were asleep yesterday, maybe you slept in, maybe you didn't have to go to work or school, whatever the case may be. Watch the temperatures from 5 p.m. Tuesday to 5 a.m. Wednesday. And you'll note they don't move a lot. Now, yes, I know the future track through a couple of flurries out there. That might be possible tonight. Not expecting really much of anything, but the temperatures don't move much. That's where the southwest winds start having a benefit. We're going to have them increase overnight. They're going to shift out of the south, start gusting to 30. So we are talking another night of very bitterly cold wind chills, but it slows down the temperature drop, which means we'll be a little warmer as we start our Wednesday. And that means, even though it's still in the 20s, it will allow us to get a little warmer by the afternoon. So by noon, looking a little better. We're into the low 30s for most of us. As we head into the afternoon hours, we're looking at highs into the mid and upper 30s, maybe even a couple of low 40s out there. And that trend does at least continue through Thursday. So now Thursday morning, look at this. We are now back to being 20 to almost 30 degrees warmer by Thursday morning than where we are at this time right now. We'll have, again, a mix of sun and clouds out there. Northwest winds, and we'll still make it to at least the 30s by the afternoon. Right now, though, I know many folks are probably wishing it was at least in the 30s because look at these temperatures. These are not the wind chills, okay? These are the actual air temperatures. 1 below in Fort Scott, 2 below zero in Neodesha and Parsons, 0 Iola and Yates Center. You kind of get the idea, especially a little further north. It's very cold, not like it's much warmer further south as we're still all in the single digits. Now, right now, we have a very light and variable breeze out there, but in some cases, as I've mentioned, with the colder air, it doesn't take much of a breeze to make it feel considerably colder. And take a look at that, 15 below zero. That's what it feels like in Fort Scott. 13 below in Nevada, 12 below in Iola, 12 below in Independence. Most locations, with the exception of this little warm pocket here, are below zero wind chills this morning. So if you are heading out, getting ready for the school, getting ready for the bus, whatever the case may be, you got to bundle up. Kids waiting on the bus, if there's a way they can wait inside, wait in your car, or in some cases, maybe just take them to school if you can, probably a better idea because it will be bitterly cold through the most of the morning. We're starting in the single digits, maybe a little below zero like we're seeing right now. Eventually, about the low teens by 11 a.m., but it'll be sunny. It'll certainly look nice. Our highs today, upper teens, low 20s, southwest breeze 5 to 10. As we go into tonight, increasing clouds, increasing winds, south gusting to 30. But see, temperatures, they're going to reach a point where they honestly just level out. They're going to stop falling, and that's going to end up being our low. So our low temperatures may come very early this evening and then just lock into that. A little warmer tomorrow, still breezy. Maybe a stray snow flurry or snow shower on Thursday. Warming up into the weekend, and we're keeping an eye on that wintry mix for Sunday. Nothing major at this point, but something we certainly want to monitor. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, a new study sheds light on the impact teen stress has on the U.S. economy. The study found that teenagers suffering from anxiety or depression disorders have a lower chance of entering the workforce once they reach young adulthood. The study found that young adults who experience stress as teens earned about $5,700 less yearly compared to their colleagues. Researchers say if actions were taken to help 10% of teens who are at risk of suffering from stress, it could help save as much as $52 billion in the nation's budget over the course of a decade. Researchers analyzed data from more than 3,300 participants ages 15 to 17 years old. The study was published in the Journal of PLOS Medicine. Popular medications approved for weight loss, diabetes, and heart disease may have health benefits beyond weight loss and blood sugar control, but there are risks too. A new study looked at the benefits and risks of these GLP-1 drugs, which some doctors say may be helping reduce obesity rates in the U.S. Researchers found people who took GLP-1 medications had lower risks for 42 health issues, including cancer, dementia, substance abuse disorders, and psychosis. But the researchers also points to higher risks for 19 health outcomes, primarily risks to the digestive system. They include nausea and vomiting, stomach pain, heartburn, and stomach paralysis. And as winter weather bears down across wide swaths of the country, the freezing temperatures are raising risks of carbon monoxide poisoning. Known as the silent killer, carbon monoxide is the #1 accidental poisoning problem in the nation and the world, sending more than 100,000 Americans to the emergency room and killing more than 400 every year, according to the CDC. Ted Lindner takes a closer look at how you can help keep you and your loved ones safe this season.
With bitter cold sinking in across the country, even the South is preparing to shiver.
This morning it was 21 degrees and felt like 10.
With winter storm warnings issued Monday from Texas to Florida, the snow and freezing rain are expected to impact the region into Wednesday. Governors in Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama declared states of emergency, with a number of school systems also canceling classes Tuesday.
Each day we started adding more and more clothes.
But as the temperatures plunge, many people will be cranking up the heat, leading doctors to warn about the increased risks of carbon monoxide poisoning this time of year.
This is when people are turning on their heaters, and if there's been inappropriate maintenance or the heater is malfunctioning, you can have a carbon monoxide leak.
Carbon monoxide can be found in the vapor produced by furnaces, gas stoves, portable generators, and more. And with home heaters and fireplaces running for longer, especially while windows are closed, it could lead to a buildup of the potentially lethal gas indoors.
The reason is we can't detect it with any of our senses, meaning it's colorless, it's tasteless, and we can't smell it. The only way to detect it is with a carbon monoxide detector.
While the most common symptom of carbon monoxide poisoning is a headache,
there can also be more severe symptoms, such as chest pain or shortness of breath. People can even pass out or have syncope and even seizures.
But just having carbon monoxide detectors isn't enough. Doctors say you need to regularly check them to make sure they're working. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a bitterly cold start to the day out there. Cold weather advisories across the region. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, the Regional Better Business Bureau warns online daters about romance scams.
And it is dangerously cold in some parts of the area this morning. A bitterly cold start to the day. We'll have a look at that forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a Fort Scott Museum takes a look back on the civil rights movement.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's January 21st. And it is very cold outside.
Oh, it's freezing.
Yeah, that's all
It's
there is
freezing.
to it. Really, and for most of, in fact, all of today, it's going to be bitterly cold out there. It's better if you can stay home. Maybe do that. If you got the option to do so. If you got to go out, though, we had to get out. They can't bring the studio to our house.
No.
We'd have to split it in half. That's just too much of a hassle. So for those who do have to get out, here's what you need to know about how cold it is. We're going to start, though, the look outside. It looks all right. Downtown Pittsburgh, skies are clear. It's a beautiful start to the day in terms of the sky conditions. In fact, we're going to have more sunshine today than what we did yesterday, which will be fantastic. But it just isn't going to do much for our temperatures, unfortunately. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking pretty good. So we'll head back to Kansas to the KDOT camera on 69 south of Pittsburgh. Also looking really good this morning as well. That sign exceptionally bright today. We have these cold weather advisories. We had just a few of them yesterday. Now they are for everybody. The majority of them run through noon today, with the exception of Oklahoma and Arkansas. They run until 10, and that's because Northeast Oklahoma and Benton County in Arkansas, there's others, but in terms of our area, these come from the Tulsa National Weather Service office. That's why these run until 10, because that's what they feel is how long they need to go. Why are they in place? Well, it's because right now it's extraordinarily cold, and we're looking at wind chills already anywhere from 10 to 20 below zero. And that's where the concern lies. That's where these cold weather advisories come from. So by noon today, we're not really doing all that great. Lots of sunshine, southwest winds, temperatures low to mid-teens for most of us. By the afternoon, we are eventually looking at highs around the low 20s. And the good news is take a look. These temperatures, that's a 4-hour run. They didn't really move much, did they? That's the one benefit to these southerly winds, is it'll be slightly warmer this evening than where it has been the last few evenings, which will allow us to be a little warmer tomorrow. Again, Joplin Airport not reporting a current condition. It's 2 in Pittsburgh, but again, we do have a backup site that this particular map can pull from. It's 3 in Joplin. These temperatures, 1 below zero, Iola, Fort Scott, 3 below zero, Neodesha, 2 below in Parsons. These are not the wind chills. These are the air temperatures. These are the wind chills. 15 below zero is what it feels like. Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott. Okay, and we've got other communities that are upwards of 10 to 15 below zero. You got to bundle up. So kids getting on the bus, again, if possible, maybe keep them in your car where it's warmer, keep them in the house, or possibly take them to school if you can, because it's not going to be doing too great when that bus picks them up. About 2, clear skies, calm winds. By this afternoon, not much improvement, still sunny, 20, southwest winds 5 to 10. And through today, highs upper teens, low 20s, clear skies. And in some cases, our lows, they're probably going to arrive about 5, 6 o'clock this evening, because temperatures will level out as we head into the overnight hours. We'll talk about that, some gusty winds, and some slightly warmer temperatures here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, thanks. Well, love might soon be in the air for some. Others will use Valentine's Day as an excuse to steal more than someone's heart. The Better Business Bureau wants to warn people ahead of the holiday that scammers use online dating and social media to take advantage of people looking for love. Pamela Hernandez, the regional director for the BBB office, says always be aware of red flags.
So a couple of very common red flags that consumers tell BBB about are folks who are, well, too hot to be true. I say a lot with online shopping. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And the same thing applies to dating online. Also, someone who's in a hurry to get off the dating platform and they can't meet. Either they can't or they won't. There's some reason they can't meet you in person.
And we have more information on how to protect yourself on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. With the inauguration of President Donald Trump, the nation faces the possibility of new rules and policies, from immigration and abortion rights to the future of LGBTQ+ protections. The 47th president has already made his stances clear. While some people support these positions, others strongly oppose them.
I hope doesn't happen the most is I hope that he doesn't do his mass deportation plans. It's 1 in 4 people, I believe, know somebody that is here undocumented. And there's so many mixed community households that people's families are going to be split up even more, even though he said we can deport all of them. Some of those people are naturalized U.S. citizens. They were born here.
Other folks we talked to say they hope for good business prospects and that senior citizens are well taken care of. The Gordon Parks Museum in Fort Scott, Kansas, took a camera's eye look at the civil rights movement yesterday. The event, The Power of Imagery and Civil Rights Experience, explores the power of photography during the civil rights movement from the pre-1900s to today. Ann Dean, who teaches photography at the Lawrence Art Center, hopes that people can bond through the shared experience.
It feels amazing, especially on this particular Martin Luther King Day. I feel very proud and honored to be able to share these stories, and my hope is that it just creates a sense of understanding and hope and camaraderie between all of us.
The public was invited out to the free event, which also featured a barbecue lunch. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A teen pleads guilty in the fatal stabbing at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in England. Plus, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas now in effect. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. While topping World Watch, Google may be going against an international law on fact-checking. A report says the company notified the European Union that it will not comply with its new code of conduct, which calls on search platforms to add fact-checking to its results. Google says it will not add any of the measures to its search engine or on YouTube results. The report says the company believes the measures are not appropriate for its services, and it plans to improve on its current moderation tools instead. And a teen enters a guilty plea in England to charges of killing 3 girls and injuring 10 others at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in England. He's 18-year-old, the 18-year-old entering his plea Monday on 3 counts of murder, 10 counts of attempted murder, and additional charges related to possessing the poison reason for an possession of an Al-Qaeda manual. Now, the judge says he could face life imprisonment when sentenced on Thursday. Well, after more than a year of fighting, there's calm in Gaza as the ceasefire appears to be holding. Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv.
All quiet on the streets of Gaza, with the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas now in effect. Anxious residents are slowly returning to their homes, trying to start the rebuilding process after 15 months of war. Last night, there were celebrations as Israel released 90 Palestinian prisoners, all of them women and teenagers.
Our freedom will not be complete until Gaza is reconstructed and life returns to it. The people of Gaza are strong and steadfast.
The prisoner release followed the return of 3 Israeli hostages held captive by Hamas since October 7th. All 3 have been reunited with their families. They're now under medical care, and a sense of calm is setting in. The Israeli military has withdrawn to defensive lines. Hamas police officers are now patrolling the streets of Gaza, while both sides watch and wait to see if the ceasefire holds.
In this agreement, there are risks and there are challenges. We are prepared and we know how to come back and fight.
The agreement calls for Phase 2 negotiations to start 15 days from now. In that time, more hostages will be released in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. Families of those hostages are calling on the Trump administration to keep pushing the deal forward, saying it's the only way to get their loved ones back alive.
President Trump, I'm asking you to keep fighting for my brothers. and for all the other remaining hostages in Gaza. They still have a future. They can still be home.
If all goes according to plan, 4 more hostages will be released on Saturday.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:43, almost 5:44 on this Tuesday morning. And we've got cold weather advisories across the area. And again, cold weather advisories, remember, they replace wind chill warnings and things of that nature, but they essentially have some of the same meaning. The majority of these run through noon today. Oklahoma, Arkansas, they'll run through 10 a.m. As because we're looking at wind chills upwards of 20 below zero. And in some cases, that's what we're already seeing this morning, which we will get to our current temperatures in a moment. Now, as we head into the afternoon, not much improvement in terms of temperatures. We're going to have a lot more sunshine. We're looking at clear skies today, and we're going to have that southwest wind at about 5 to 10. Now, that southwest wind, even though it's only 5 to 10, we talked about, and we've got the evidence of this morning, it does not take much of a breeze when temperatures are very cold to bring that wind chill down. And so that's going to be the problems. Our wind chills are going to be pretty darn cold through most of today, even though we're going to have plentiful sunshine, and it won't even be that windy. Now, southwest breeze. That's going to do something for us. And what it's going to do is it's going to hold our temperatures as we head through the evening and overnight. In fact, in a number of communities, we may very well reach our lows as early as 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, and then temperatures level out. You take a look, not much change overnight. And yes, future track does show the possibility of a flurry or two, but we're not looking at anything significant tonight. We'll have clouds increasing, winds increasing though as well. South breeze tonight, gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour, and that'll continue as we head into tomorrow morning. So even though our temperatures are a little better, our wind chills are still going to be back into the single digits as we start Wednesday. As we go through Wednesday, because we're going to be starting slightly warmer, again, I know to us it won't feel warmer, but from a temperature standpoint, it'll be about 20 degrees warmer tomorrow morning. That will allow us to be a little warmer into the afternoon. Now, winds will begin to shift out of the west by the afternoon on Wednesday, and we'll have partly cloudy skies. They'll still be gusting, though, upwards of 30 miles an hour. It won't be until late Wednesday that these winds begin to ease up for us. And then as we head into Thursday, another similar situation. We're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, temperatures holding into the mid to upper 20s, which means we'll be slightly decent on Thursday, still back into the 30s, although we could see a couple of stray snow showers or light flurries on Thursday. Let's take a look at temperatures right now. So this is what I'm talking about. Right now, and hence the cold weather advisories, these are not the wind chills. I want to emphasize that. I know we're not used to seeing temperatures like this. This is genuinely not the wind chills. That's the next graphic I'll show you. It is 2 below zero in Parsons, 3 below zero, Neodesha and Iola, 2 below in Fort Scott, 1 below zero, Yates Center, 0 in Nevada. These are the actual air temperatures. Now we'll factor in even a light breeze. We've got wind chills. They're bouncing around because we have a light breeze. But when it blows a bit and we get the reporting information in, like Stockton right now, feels like it's 15 below zero. In Stockton, 15 below zero, 11 below in Nevada is what it feels like. So you get the idea. We've got most of the wind chills across the area below zero, which means it is bitterly cold. So as you're heading out this morning, bundle up. Kids getting on the bus, make sure they are well bundled as well. We're sitting at 2 to start the day, so single digits to start. Sunny skies, low teens by 11 o'clock in the morning. Head of highs today into the upper teens and low 20s. And as I mentioned, some of us may very well hit our low temperatures by this evening and then just level out through the rest of the night. Partly cloudy, south breeze gusting to 30. Still gusting tomorrow, but warmer, upper 30s, maybe even a couple of low 40s. Stray flurry or two Thursday. Not bad Friday and Saturday, 40 and then 49, so getting close to 50. Could see some wintry weather on Sunday. We're going to keep an eye on that for you. A little chilly to start next week. Temperatures maybe even above normal by the middle of next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Watch it, come on! Get out of there! There we go.
Unstoppable was a very physical film for Jarrell Jerome, who plays Anthony Robles, a wrestler born with only one leg.
I always thought the wrestling would be the hardest part for me, but I had the best coach and the best mentor. So a lot of that I wouldn't say was easy, but it was, you know what, screw it, I'll say it's easy. You made it easy. He made it much easier for me to learn and to adapt to those styles.
Jerome says the toughest part was looking as adept on crutches as someone who'd used them his entire life. Unstoppable is now streaming on Prime Video.
The great Herb Maguire, coming all the way out there without your roadies. Which brings me up to the thorny issue of payment.
Where will the audience be? You said there'd be 100.
I said less than 100.
Is it just you?
Yeah.
Tim Key plays a lottery winner living alone on a remote island who tries to reunite his favorite musicians for a private show in The Ballad of Wallace Island. Tom Basden and Carey Mulligan play the former bandmates and lovers who warily re-team for the gig. The Ballad of Wallace Island premieres at the Sundance Film Festival Saturday and opens in theaters March 28th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Former players from a one-time high school basketball team in California aren't just remembering their glory days, they're reliving them. Mike Menges reports on the reunion that got them back on the court.
All right, I want everybody on the line.
Varsity coach Bob Johnson right back in his role again in the Shasta High gym. But instead of teenagers, the players on the 1980-81 unbeaten section championship team are now in their 60s. They've always had a special place in his heart.
You know, I always would say there's no I in the word team, and they exemplify that. They were all willing to sacrifice their own personal goals for the good of the team, and it's a coach's dream.
This came together when one of the players, Doug Crockett, was looking at a poster of the team and thought, what if? And he tracked down Coach Johnson's phone number, but
I'll be doggone if he didn't call me. And that call, again, was very special. I didn't know somebody could wrap their arms around somebody through the phone, but he did. And that inspired me to try to get us all together on a whim without much hope that we would all get together. But it was amazing how much zeal and motivation every one of us had to make it happen.
And amazing that all 13 players returned from all over the country. Guard Derek Fain told me how important it was to them.
When Doug first contacted me and said everyone was going to get together and really celebrate the team in the reunion, even though we've had some of the worst snow we've ever had in Kansas City, it was worth every bit of effort to get here and be with this special group, and just glad to be included.
To a man, they say 10-0 or 0-10. Their teammates mean more than their record.
Nobody thinks about 10-0 anymore. It's about who these guys were, what have they been doing, and how could we have come together and done such a fun thing. So it has been more satisfying than I'd ever hoped.
Crockett says the team enjoyed a dinner together as part of the reunion. Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, a German baker distantly related to Donald Trump creates Trump slices at her bakery. Ursula Trump's late husband was related to Donald Trump in the 7th generation. She came up with a pastry creation honoring Trump called Trump Slices during his first term. They are designed in with the colors of the American flag and feature an edible photo of the president. The cakes are made of buttercream, chocolate, and cherries based on a popular German cake known as Dinalwell. The 77-year-old baker has said that although she's not a 100% fan of his, she would still like to see the U.S. president visit his German ancestors one day. And they might be considered pests, but squirrels deserve a day of recognition. Today is National Squirrel Appreciation Day. There are more than 200 species of squirrels around the world, and they fall into 3 different types: ground squirrels, tree squirrels, or flying squirrels. Unlike their name, the flying squirrels actually glide great distances by spreading their legs wide to give the impression of flying. To celebrate a Squirrel Appreciation Day, you can set up a squirrel feeder or observe them in the park.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard an angry squirrel. I remember when I was growing up, we had walnut trees in my parents' backyard. and we'd go outside and the squirrels would be up in the tree. And anytime we just even walk outside, they'd make those angry noises where they like start arching their back and they twitch their tail and they make this odd noise. It's just almost like a dog, but not as loud. It's just ark, 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 I can't. You got to look it up. Look up angry squirrels because it'll sound a lot better than the impression I just did. And it's a good reason to stay inside because you can look it up inside because I don't think there's going to be any squirrels running around today. Too cold. Single digits to start, clear skies, low teens by 11 a.m. Southwest breeze at 5 to 10 will be enough. Keep our wind chills into the low teens and single digits through most of today. Highs eventually upper teens and low 20s. Now, the good news is with that southwest wind eventually shifting south tonight, temperatures for many of us are going to level out pretty early with our lows. So back into the teens for our lows. South breeze gusting to 30 though, keeps our wind chills very low. Then tomorrow, because we're going to start a pinch warmer, we will be a pinch warmer. Upper 30s, still breezy though. Maybe a flurry or snow shower Thursday, warming up Friday, Saturday, keeping an eye on a wintry mix Sunday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.